Hey guys, Limit Fisherman here, coming back at you again for some new lures that I've gotten into. Now this is not your normal Tackle Warehouse, Bass Pro Shops video. This is very much different. There's somebody that lives on a lake that I fish a lot. I've really cut my teeth on that lake, and as an old friend of mine, I've got a real interesting story about him, and I won't ever forget him. But he's going to be moving. He's selling a lot, really most of his fishing equipment, lures, everything. He has a basement full of stuff, like crazy, and he's letting people walk out with $25 rods. You know, he had St. Croix rods. They've already been sold. Otherwise, I would have bought me a few. But anyways, this is the aftermath of the damage I've done. I dropped about almost 200 bucks, and here's a lot of soft plastics. But guess what? We're not going to get into that too much yet. We'll save that because I might have to split this into two parts, which will be good for you guys. It'll be good for me. So you can see all these lures, man. I mean, a lot of this stuff is like 50% off or so from normal prices, and this isn't your normal like whole bunch of really good Strike King baits, and this is a lot of old-time lures except for some Rapala and Lure Jensen lures and stuff like that. Let's see here. A lot of really good baits though here, so we're gonna get into it. It's just a lot of randomness, but they're really good prices. A lot of these crankbaits are anywhere from $1.50 to $2 a pop. Same for these spoons. Soft plastics, $1.50 to $2 a pop. Those Bass Pro Shops boxes there, they were $2 a pop, I believe. Yeah, $2 a pop, and I bought some, and I'm probably going to buy some more because you just never could really have enough. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hopefully the lighting's pretty good. I think it is. Right here is Lure Jensen Hot Lips Express. This bait right here, I don't think this is the bigger size. This bait with the big bill looks like it'll probably dive at least 15 feet. I don't think it's the big one. I think the one that Jason Quinn talks about a lot is actually a bigger size. You can see the color. It's got some sparkle in it. You know, and a lot of these older lures, you know, I'm kind of soft about getting them because you just never know how they're going to run, especially baits like, I'll show you. You know, it's even some of these Rapala, like this. I think this is probably a Series 5 or a Series 6. Probably a 5, I think. You see that color? I'm really touchy about buying them because they could run one way or the other, or you just never know. And especially old baits like this. A lot of people would say, "What the heck do you have there? That's something somebody would use back in like 1980." Go ahead and spend the extra money and get like a Lucky Craft or something that you can count on. You know what? $2 a pop. This thing right here used to catch a lot of fish in the springtime, especially. It's a little double prop bait here. It's going to be really interesting to throw this out here this time of year. But so I got that. I'm gonna throw them out. We've already went over that one. And then here, Norman DD22. Really interesting color. I hope the light's good enough where you guys can see that. And especially these Norman baits, I've really found that they are some of the worst as far as running left or right and just being kind of trash, in my opinion. But these catch big fish, and my thinking is I get into a situation sometimes on my local lake, Lake Sinclair, where actually, legitimately, the bigger fish actually really want a bigger bait. So if you could get a crankbait that has a bigger profile that dives 15 foot, you're going to get bigger bites. I found that. And you know, normally you want the slimmer profile like a Strike King 5XD, but man, I throw out there with a bigger profile bait and put heavier line on, so it runs about the same depth. And I genuinely catch bigger fish. There was a guy in the back of the boat that caught a bigger fish than I had a better angle on the actual school of fish, but he was throwing the bigger bait on heavier line, and he caught a 3.5 behind me. So I learned that lesson. So I picked up a few of these just so that I run into that situation, I'll be prepared. And you see this color here, same bait. And I wish I could tell you the kind of like exact colors that are within these, but if people don't know, they're probably like, how are you? I'm colorblind. Most people say, how can you be colorblind and talk about the best colors to use for lures? Well, there's just certain colors I have hard times with. So here's another good, this is a DT16, yeah, DT16 Rapala. But anyways, as we go through these, I also want to thank you guys for the likes that I had on my last Tackle Warehouse order video. It was either the last one or the one before. Really, I want to thank you guys a lot for that. That meant a lot. Really did. Showing your support. And there's another one. This is what they call like a splatterback color. But as far as me being colorblind, I just really have a hard time picking out and understanding like certain colors. Like it's not like I see black and white or like a dog or something. It's just certain colors like blue and purple give me a hard time. I can't distinguish the two. And like that top color, I don't know. Honestly, I think that's like maybe a purple. I really don't know. It's pretty bad. But anyways, I still pick out good colors and catch a lot of fish and catch big bass. It's not that big a deal. I just may not be able to know what they are. But that's a really neat color. I like that. Same bait. Got big rattles. But the reason I picked out a lot of these like Rapala crankbaits and stuff, they don't really have rattles. Now this one has a small rattle. Yeah, that's not the hooks either. That's actually the rattle. But some of these little baits like the Rapala Shad Rap 5s and 7s, no rattle at all. And baits without rattles have more action, they catch more fish, and they have a more neutral and subtle action, especially in the winter they're good. And I'm catching up on some of these Shad Raps, using them on spinning tackle, 6 to 8 pound test. If you're using that really good quality line, you can go up to about 10 pound test, because the diameter will be lower for the pound test compared to like cheaper fluorocarbons. It really does make a difference. You can actually upsize just a little bit. So we'll go through some of these baits kind of quick, because I'm going to split this into 2 parts probably. Now here's a small little topwater bait. This looks similar to the Lucky Craft. I think it's a 95 Sammy. I think. I'm probably wrong, because I only have one of those baits, and I bought it for one specific reason, for a double topwater rig, where you take 2 hard body topwaters, one real small, very similar to this size, and then another bigger bait, like the big 3-hooked spooks and stuff, and you tie them together. You tie like one and then have a leader and tie to another one. I've caught some fish on that. And this, I think I'll do the same thing. I'll take this back hook off, tie some mono 17 to 20 pound test, and then to a big topwater. And I think it's going to do the same thing. Instead of buying a $20 lure, I think it was a $15 to $20 lure, I have 2 of these. And I'll show you, they're the exact same color. Let me pick the other one out. Here's the other one. Do the shake. Shake, shake, shake. There's the other one. Same deal. Same color. See, to get you a better look at that color. Now, to my eye, that's like a gold back. I could go on and on about my bad color color recognition, so I could go on and on about that. But, you know, I also want to, while I go through some of these baits, is talk about, I'm going to have an update video for you guys. I know I've been procrastinating about it, but I've been trying to pick it out to where I say everything I want to say within it so I don't miss anything. There's going to be an update video and a bio video that I have for you guys coming up. I also have the second part to this video. And then I also have a Bass Pro Shops order that I'm waiting to film, and I'm probably going to do that tomorrow, and then I'll send it out to you guys in another week or so. And I'm going to wait for a week so that I don't upload everything at one time, for one. And 2, I have a few orders that were on back order, a few products that were on back order at Tackle Warehouse. And I'm waiting for those to get here. They should be here within the next probably 4 or 5 days, or let's see, it's Thursday, so it'll probably be like Monday or Tuesday of next week. And then I can roll that video out to you. It's going to be really nice. And here's a prop style bait. It's actually called a Dying Flutter or something like that. You can barely read it, but it's an old wooden style prop bait. Same kind of one, but just bigger. You just never know, man. These baits could really catch fish. At least on a pond or something when you don't want to be throwing an expensive lure. You could toss one of them around. Here's another one. You see the color on that? It's got like, I'm pretty sure that's green. Green and brown really messes me up too, if I didn't say that already. And it's got like a yellow, orange, like a mustard type bottom. That's why I don't name colors out too much. I only name the factory names. Yeah, if you've ever noticed that on my channel, that's why. I'm colorblind. I've gotten better over the years, though. It's all about color recognition. Colorblind people can see the same colors as normal. But anyway, let's keep going with this. You're not here to learn about that. And here's a Shad Rap. I think this is a series, not a series, but Shad Rap. This is a Shad Rap number 8. Number 8. That's like a Tennessee shad type color, I believe, if I remember. I'm stocking up on them things. They're really good lures. Here's a little pop-R type bait. Probably pretty cheap, but it's really light, so it would need to be thrown on pretty small equipment. This wouldn't be on your 20-pound test, probably. 14-pound mono, maybe 20-pound braid, something like that. Here's another Norman DD 22. This is an interesting color. It's like a white, a complete pearl, and then I'm thinking that's green on the top. But greens or brown. Green or brown is always usually good for me. It's got a weird little splot right there. I've never seen a lure have that before. Not like that vivid, like not that big. Normally I have a small one, like a little bit of orange. But anyway, we'll keep moving. And here's an XBS Topwater, old style. I've never seen this one before. It's a real small, two-hooked one. It says XBS right there, if you can make that out. Really nice translucent type color. I'm gonna really like this bait. And I'll have to add a split ring to it. Here's another Hot Lips Express Lure Jensen. Smaller model. This probably would dive maybe 8 foot or so. But yeah, it's kind of tricky with the bait because it has where the bill's oblonged here, so it might dive deeper because it's going to catch more water. That's the reason they designed that, so it would get a little bit deeper. It's an interesting little bait, and if you get the color, it's a really nice little faded black down to blue and then a pearl. That might be purple. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh. Stop laughing. I know you are. You're either laughing or you've already clicked off the video. And then here's another lure Jensen. So actually it's the medium size of the two that you've just seen. We had that smaller one, then we had the bigger one, and then this one. Interesting. You can see that color. I like it. It's a black pearl sides with a lot of sparkle in it. Really nice. And I'm not sure if we've done this before. This is another. I might have just gotten 2 of the same one. Tennessee Shad wrap. This is the number 8. Let's wrap this up. We're going 12 minutes here, and here's a Sidewinder spoon. I've got a couple of these. I don't know how big they are. He didn't have them in sizes, but he had his stuff so organized. I should have taken a few pictures. If I go up there next time, maybe I'll incorporate that in part 2. Some pictures. I might go up there again. He lives about an hour away from here. Got another Sidewinder spoon. And they catch the fire out of fish on spoons. Lanier, you can catch them on schooling fish. You can catch them in a lot of situations. And I'm wanting to experiment with that. I've never caught a fish on a spoon, and it's one of the only techniques that I have not caught a fish on a spoon, on a lure with. Like, so many plastics, so many crankbaits, deep cranking, like offshore worms, all kinds of techniques I've caught fish, and you know, challenged myself to. But spoons, I've just never done it yet. I've thrown it out there a little bit, but here's another topwater bait, and if you can make it out, it's got a weird kink. I hope you can see it. It's got a weird kink in the. See that? Got a weird kink right there behind that first hook. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I doubt that it was made. I doubt that it was done to the lure, so it should have been made like that. So I don't know what brand. Oh, it's a Sammy, so it's some sort of an old school Sammy. That's why I got it. It was some sort of an old school Sammy, so I imagine it's pretty good. And here's another crankbait. We got it's the same color we saw before, Norman DD. Really good offshore bait, man. It's, you know, I think it was Bobby Lane. He won. That was one of his primary baits on the Tennessee River several years ago, and it's been consistently a good bait. And this bait here, it's kind of like a mustard type color, shad wrap. What size is this? I can't see through this camera. This is a. It says Model A. I don't know what size. I can't read through the lip right now. The light's not too good. But you can get the idea. It's black with a golden type deal. And if you've made it this long, thank you. Leave the like. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Here's another topwater. This is a Rapala. And I believe this is called a scatter. Not a scatter wrap. That's their new scatter pop or something like that. They made this several years ago. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago. I bought one of them and I got it hung on one of my local ponds. It's a weird little color, but sometimes these spotted bass and stuff really like these vibrant colors for topwater. Sometimes. I got 2 of them. They're cheap. Why not, you know? And then this is a really nice little chrome scale flash on a Rapala Series 5 or Shad Wrap 5. Lure Jensen, same one as we saw before. Really interesting body design too with these Lure Jensens. Can't wait to throw them out there. Hopefully they run good for me. Another Shad Wrap, black with a white pearl back, or black back, white pearl side. Very natural color for shad water fishing, especially in a little bit off-colored water. cold water. I may not use it that much now, but I'm planning on doing it later. So here's another little pop-R. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these. I'm probably going to stock up on some better ones, but you never know when someone in the back of my boat needs a lure, and if they're getting hung up a lot, I'm not going to give them a $20 lure. I'm just sorry to say, I'm not going to give you that. Here's another one. And then to finish it up, another Shad wrap, and this is a Shad wrap 7 in the black back, pearl side there. And that'll complete this up. We'll go through the rest of this. Once this video goes to, I'll give it 15 likes, since it's been a frustrating video, and you may not have stuck in 15 minutes long, but if you did, expect 15 minutes, 15 likes. That sounds good. That sounds great. So once this video gets to 15 likes, I will upload the second part, and if it doesn't, then I may or may not upload the second part. So leave me some feedback, and like I said, some good videos to come, some updates, some really interesting stuff happening with me and my channel and in my fishing and personal life, and we're all going to go through some of that stuff. So if you want to see some of these awesome soft plastics, dude, I've got like, I think it was 48 or 50 bags of soft plastics, so you're going to like what you see. I got some good jig heads. We're going to go into that stuff. So 15 likes, I'm out of here.